find that in my master planning. Organization administration is to basically to set up the legal entities, hierarchy flows, reporting, document management, workflow related configuration, email templates. So those things you can do in an organization administration. Then you have the US payroll. Then you have the procurement and sourcing. Procurement sourcing is more advanced level. You have the basic purchase requisition. From there you have the request for quotations. Then from there, once the quotations are approved, then I can create automatic purchase order. The creation of automatic purchase order can be manual, that I go manually click it and then it creates automatically from PR. Also automatically, even without the human interventions, I can create my purchase order based on the upload from the PR. And also the beautiful thing is you have the purchasing policies. If you see here, this is the purchase policies where I can define my purchasing policies on different procedure. For I can define like these many purchasing policies are available, so I can define as per the company needs and process, so that system will restrict as well as finds a solution at that point of time. So this is an advanced procurement policies are available. And then product information management, basically how I manage my items in terms of my costing, in terms of the inventory behavior, inventory tracking, product, like for example, is it a simple product or also a variant related product, variant related size, color, style, some types of configurations. So I don't need to create multiple item for this. I can create one item and I can have multiple variants. For example, so this is one items with okay. This item with the color and size, so I can define it multiple product variants for that particular item, so that I have one item in place with different configurations. See, with a black, white, again sizes of 6, black 2, white 2, black 4, white 4. So different sizes, different color, I can have the combinations of different attribute variants, so that I will manage as a one item, but still the variances. Even I can see my online inventory based on my variance also. So that's what I can manage my item master. Managing my item master will have, it's an exclusively a bigger task, because you need to fill in a lot of details in item creation. If so, those items are kind of a similar fashion, you can create as one template, and from the template you can create multiple items. So it avoids like most of the mandatory fields to repeatedly entering into the creation at the time of creating an item. So you have purchase, promote, deliver, sell. Each field has their own functionality. We'll see that like at the time of training part. Then you have the production controls. Production supports 4 different types of productions. Discrete is basically the assembling of this. Like for example, I have a mobile phone. I can assemble. I can do the assembly. After that, process manufacturing. Process is basically, for example, which I cannot disassemble. I can assemble it or I can produce it, but I cannot, bring back it to my raw material position. Like for example, I say the ice cream manufacturing, the extraction of petrol. So these are the process manufacturing. Then you have lean manufacturing and Kanban methods of Japanese method. Then even that you can configure in the system.
Sorry, I can I ask one small question? How
Contract as well as a project will be created. So project contract is basically I define it, for a customer, what is the funding rules, who are the funding persons, what are the funding limits. So I can define that. So here this is a project. Project can be of 6 different types. One is two different types are facing the external customer. 4 different types are facing your internal company policy. That is time and material and fixed price projects are for your external customers, and investment projects, internal cost, time project, and project cost projects are related to your internal management. That's one. And then there's a projects I can accommodate, like a different WBS. Like, for example, I can define a work breakdown structure, like in a step-by-step method. What are the assignments? If there is a detail level, I can go assign for each step. Detail cost is applied, like for example, our expense, fee, item related. So I can define it initiate this from a WBS. I can automatically create a forecast for the projects. What will be the forecast or the cost side. My forecast for different categories. From the forecast, I can define my project budget. So the system will always consider what is the actual cost versus the budget cost. So project budget, so that I can have always a report of the original budget, revised budget, and the actual cost, and what is the deviation for me to analyze. So I can bill it to my customer on a milestone basis or a progress basis or a unit delivery basis to my customer. System has a very beautiful revenue recognition mechanism. Like for example, I may invoice to my customer starting of the project, for example 100,000, but I don't want it to appear in my P&L or my balance sheet immediately, like for that particular month. I want it to be segregated or else divided into monthly basis. So there is a mechanism based on my cost or based on my work completion, percentage completion. I can allocate my revenue directly on monthly basis. So that's what we can accommodate. You can have, like as a consulting company, if you're implementing, you can have timesheet entry manual, then expense management is directly integrated with the project management, right? You have the questionnaire module. Questionnaire module is basically it's an add-on module for all other modules. That is, I can create a questionnaire and then I can attach it to any of the process. For example, I'm conducting a course internally for my company. I wanted to get feedbacks from different people, who have attended. There's a questionnaire and float it in my employee self-service portal, so people can directly answer that. Then you have the retail. From retail, I started my career with retail as a base. So I've seen the product development of retail from scratch, from introduction side to till now. Okay, so there are different methods of products, catalogs, pricing and promotions. Use a simple promotions, simple discount. Then you have like mix and match, quantity based, threshold based. Buy for 1,000, then you get 5%. So that is called threshold. Coupons, I can have my electronic coupon as well as my printed coupon. Price adjustment for particular time, I wanted my price to adjust instead of providing a discount. I would do a price adjustment. Category price rule. These category price rules basically applies for the e-commerce side. I give like for example, if it is a fashion related company, I can define for fashion category 10% discount. So it's a category level discount I can give. Again, shipping discounts I can provide it for, like if you buy more than 200 US dollars, the shipping is free. You see in e-commerce industry, right? You can manage that. These are related to the setups of the discount parameter. Then you can have the channel management. Channel management is you brick and mortar store, the retail channel. Then you have the online as well as the call centers. So you can manage these three different types. Call centers are basically people call and the call center agent takes the order, so that you can manage it here. Then the employee management, I can assign multiple employees to one store or one store restricted employees, the permissions, manager, supervisor, cashier concept I can do in the employee management. Time and then even the time and attendance part, when actually they are logging into the POS system, when they are going for lunch breakout, all these configurations you can do, approve, and all this will. Customer management is basically how I create the customers in the office. If the item is not available in the warehouse, I take that as a customer order. Now, how do I manage my customer orders? Those things I can manage it here. And you have the loyalty management. Loyalty management is basically I can have multiple loyalty program based on my the customer. It's a premium customer, gold customer, silver customer. So these things, and I can segregate and I can provide them point calculations and the redemptions based on the slab level. Actually, I can do that. Then the inventory management is related to the replenishment. Like for example, if the store needs a stock of a particular item, then the store can directly request a cross docking, or else if this the procurement guy wanted to push certain amount of based on rules, I can send it like the procurement guy can initiate a buyer's push. So those things replenish. Three things I can do it here: barcode labeling, barcode printing, barcode configuration. You can do here. I can do a return locations of multiple. I can say that I get return from customer bought it from one store and return in other stores. So those things I can manage it here. So that's on the retail side. Then you have the sales and marketing. Sales and marketing, it supports the basic marketing and CRM here. Like for example, already you are a CRM consultant, you know how to manage the leads, relationship, the leads, prospects, opportunities. So you have the basic CRM here, then the prospects convert to customers, then you have the sales quotation, sales order, sales agreement, sales returns, all these stuffs you can manage it here. And you have a marketing campaign, marketing, telemarketing, all these stuffs in finance and operation also. You have the service management. For example, service management is after sales. If you are a medical equipment manufacturing company, for example, you are manufacturing, I could say, medical scanning device. Okay, it needs an expert to do if it is a repair or a field services. So those kind of say service agreement and also service orders you can take it here. It's an like I can say it's a basic version of field service where people go see, diagnose, and then schedule. So the same functionality you have in the service management.
Sorry, one quick question.
Yeah.
We have the
taxation system supports the multi-localized taxation format, so you can configure that every country, particularly I think Microsoft has given white paper how to configure the localized based taxation with the reporting capability. And also you have time and attendance to integrate your time and attendance machine. Transportation management, if you are having, like for example, if you are a freight forwarding company, so the freight forwarding company can use, there are different methods of transportations. You can use your own fleets. If you are packaging in a container, ship it across the ocean, or else if you are using the flight method, or else I am a freight forwarding company, I use different methods. Like for example, I collect it from different customers, put it in one container, ship it to them. So, or a dedicated container. So those kind of configuration I can do it in transportations. Vendor collaboration. Vendor collaboration is basically a module to give access to the external vendors, so that they can confirm the purchase orders which I created, so that they deliver. They can create invoices for us, and they can participate in the RFQ bidding, request for quotations, and the consignment inventory. Like basically, they'll be the owner of the inventory. Once there is a need, and when we reach a consignment order, then they will deliver back to us, and we will become the owner. So until then, I can track it my inventory from from vendor, so that it will be easy for me to make an order. So then you have the warehouse management. In the warehouse management, you will have different methods: inbound process, outbound process, and then a mobile app will come. It's by default, and a mobile app is available. And all these mobile app buttons and process, everything can be a configurable one. You can see mobile device menu items. So these are a different process. I can, based on a different process and methods, I can configure. It's a configurable based mobile device. So this one I can wrap it, put it in my mobile device. then the shipping, all like counting method, replenishment method, movement method, so I can define it. And the shipping, and if I wanted to use a container like boxes to pack the items, then even there is a process to packing and containerization. So this is a more advanced level. It is already available. Yeah. So this on the product side, probably to just to explain all the modules, it took almost an hour to complete. So I could say it's a bigger module, more functionality, more enterprise level is already available. So you can go one by one. I will not say that no, nothing is impossible in the world. One by one, one by one, one by one. Slowly you can learn, get equipped with that, and then you can more easily, I would say, expertise in that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think yes, I